Welcome to our community restorative. So we have some requests for working with the upper body, and I also um, want to work on the lower body as well, because we tend to put stress into a couple of places in the lower and the upper body. So let's get started in constructive rest. Say you're on your back, your knees are bent, your feet are on the ground, and you want to show props for today. Um, I use a lot of these balls for self massage, and I get it from a company called Tune Up Fitness. It's called the Role Model Method balls, but you can go online and there's a lot of different brands now. Anything that's around the size of a racquetball or a tennis ball can work as well. And then a couple of blocks and about 3 yoga blankets and anything else that can double in as those props. Now come into constructive rest and begin to draw your attention back into your body and find your ground literally by feeling the feet and feeling how they connect into. Give yourself 3 focused breaths, just sensing the ground, the earth. You can also use a long sigh through the mouth. It's a way to open up the breathing. And then begin to scan through your body part by part. What is present for you on this first layer, your system? What can you sense and feel about your body at this time? Give yourself some time to sense the belly center. Give yourself time to sense the heart center. And also noticing the central channel of your spine, the quality of your spine right now, how it touches the earth. And connecting with your breathing. There's nothing that you have to do to change your breath right now, just to drop in and sense where you can feel your breath happening. Just watching the natural inhalation, natural exhalation.
And watching as well the way that your mental space is moving about. So noticing that superficial layer of consciousness, that part from which thought arises. How's the quality of this thinking mind right now? The tone, the pacing, just giving it space to move and be as it is. And feeling for the emotional tones of your field right now. What emotional tones are present? Again, shifting into that wider field where you are effortlessly watching and allowing all of these different layers to be. Letting this practice be a welcoming yourself, a welcoming of your system, when we can create this place of allowing and welcoming the nervous system can begin to settle and can begin to find ground of safety, belonging, of relaxation. To connect with one of those places of intelligence in your body. It could be in the heart, it could be in the belly, it could be another place that resonates for you. Maybe sensing into here what you need right now from your practice. What qualities would you like to connect with? Would you like to imbue through your movement and your stillness tonight, this afternoon? Then we are going to introduce the self massage, and we're going to move from the low back, lower body up into and some of the places where it's going to hold a lot of tension. So first, location of the balls. You can take the balls out of your toes if you have to, and we're going to place them on the upper glutes. So basically anywhere on your hips, but I like the upper glutes because it starts to talk to the low back area as well. And you can lie down with the balls right there and adjust camera angle. And once you're there, just beginning to notice what the pressure here feels like. And then you can add movement by either doing the windshield wipers, dropping the knees side to side, or you can slide the balls and move the hips side to side so that the balls roll across your upper. So find little movements to start out that feel um, good, and the balls will get unruly, so you might have to adjust them as you go. You're in charge of the pressure, so if you need to take a pause, you can always pull the balls out. And then you can layer both movements. So when you move your hips to the right, you could drop the knees to the left. And when you move your hips to the left, you can drop the knees to the right. And that will increase the amount of pressure. You can also start to hug a knee in and make circles with that knee. You can stay in stillness. So you can let this be a very intuitive exploration of ways that you're holding tension in this area. Massaging knee circles, maybe staying in stillness, dropping the knee out to the side and just breathing into it. Another option, so I've just decided to drop the right knee out and I'm tilting my pelvis from a happy tail to a sad tail, and that's another way to rub into that area. And then switch sides with your legs, how you're moving the hip, maybe hugging in, and then making circles. And then you can do the pelvic tilts with the knees out, um, tilting the sacrum back and forth. And then you come back with the knees up and then migrate the balls up into your low back. So moving up into the low back area. So technically anywhere underneath your ribs and above your hip crest. And this is a tension spot for me. And sometimes just staying with the breathing is really beneficial. So stay with the downward breath, the downward inhalation into the low back. And then when you exhale, see if you can feel your low back muscles soft. Then your pace, your timing. Again, you can start with either the windshield wipers, taking the knees side to side first, or the rolling action, whichever feels like a more gentle way to start for your body. And then eventually you can combine both. So rolling side to side, and then dropping the knees as you like as well. And the pelvic tilts can work here as well, since the balls are right in the low back. So you could go from happy tail to sad tail, and it's going to increase the pressure on the ball as you press your low back down, and it'll decrease the pressure as you arch your low back. Then we're going to move the balls up to the last spot, which is in the upper back. You can nuzzle it basically where, if you were wearing a tank top, where the straps of the tank top are. So right in the top of the shoulders. Some of us might want to support the head a little bit higher to diminish pressure. once you land there, you can take your hands together and rest your hands right on your forehead. This position increases the pressure into that spot, but not crazily. And then you could find your breath again. And you might sense that quality of expansion even all the way up here into the balls on that inhale. And see if you can sense that quality of your body softening into the balls on the exhale. Then invoke movement in a small way by tilting your sacrum. So tilting your sacrum forwards to the low back arches and pressing the low back down. And see if you can feel how that radiates the movement up into the spine. Your upper back might, lift away from the balls a little bit, and the balls will roll down, and then your upper back will lower down, and the balls will move up a little bit. So a little movement up and down just by tilting the sacrum. And then you can make circles with the elbows. And you could combine it with the pelvic tilts, or you can stay still in the lower body as you're just focusing the movement in the shoulders. So making elbow circles. And then eventually you could reach your arms towards your back wall. And you can side bend your arms and your head. You could, if you're feeling up for a bigger movement, you could push into your feet here and reach and side bend as you push, and then pull your bum back towards your heel. That's a little bit more of an aggressive movement. I usually don't, that's usually intense for me on a hardwood floor, but I'm on a carpet right now, and so that feels good. But again, we want to play with this at a comfortable level of pressure for our body. And then other variations here, you can lift your hips up and that will increase the pressure. And you could just rub the balls up and down with your hips up. And then last piece here is move the two balls in towards the spine. So nuzzle it right in your upper back below the base of your neck. And this is the last location. And again, you can do the pelvic tilts. And then you can lift the right arm and turn your head away from that arm. You can scissor switch the arms. And then you can reach both of the arms towards your back wall. And do that side bend motion again, or stay with just the breathing. So finding the right amount of pressure again for your body. And we'll take the balls out and land back in. And you can place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Sometimes when we are under a lot of stress, it's like all the attention turns outwardly in order for the nervous system to deal with the sense of threat, and it's hard to feel the body. So, placing the hands on the body is a way for us to presence ourselves and to feel ourselves better. So, you can put a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly. And just notice what your nervous system feels like after the self massage. Notice the way that your body is relating to the earth now. Is it in contact with the earth a little bit more fully, more easily? How is your natural breath right now? Now you can place both of your hands on your thighs. We're going to massage the belly, and we're doing a variation where we move only on exhale. So as you inhale here, just feel the spine, feel the shape of your breathing. Then when you exhale, you can slide the hands up to your knees, and you can hug your knees in. Stay here, compressing your low back, stretching through your glutes as you inhale. Notice the shape of your breath, the shape of your spine. And then when you exhale, you can elongate your arms, keep holding on to your knees, and you're just moving the thighs away. And then stay on the inhale. And when you exhale again, you can go at your own pace. You hug your knees back in. If you need more support, you could do this sequence with one leg instead of both. Yes, we'll do maybe um, 3 rounds on each side, so a total of 6 rounds, moving only on exhale. And if you're doing one leg, you could switch to your other side. Your pace, your timing. When you move your feet away, you can lower all the way down. You can widen your feet to touch the edge of your mat. And we'll open the arms out, palms up. You can start with the palms down by the hips. We're going to get some movement into the shoulders. And as you inhale, you can keep the back of the arms on the floor and just begin to snow angel the arms upward. But as you do so, can you relax in your jaw, in your neck, in your face as you slide the arms upward? And they don't have to go up all the way to your head, just in a range that is comfortable and where you can still soften in the upper body. And then when you exhale, you can slide the arms back down. So snow angel arms in a range that is comfortable, and try to consciously let go of any helping in the upper torso with this arm movement. Sometimes, if there's a lot of tension in the upper body, you could even slow down the movement to do it in several breaths. Good. And then next time, when the arms are wide in the T position, you can stay here. And we'll take a big inhalation here, feeling the expansion of the breath through the side body, through the ribs. And then when you exhale, you can turn over to your right side, lifting your left arm and try to rotate from your middle back. So try to keep your pelvis down, and then maybe the left hand touches somewhere on the right arm, right hand. And then when you exhale or when you inhale, trace your left fingers on the floor in a circle, a semicircle above your head to move that left arm back to the left side. If there's a lot of restriction towards the end, feel free to bend the elbow. And then when you exhale, you can turn your head over to the left, lifting the right arm. And then try to fix the hips down as best as you can. So you're trying to turn from your middle back rather than from your pelvis. And then trace a semicircle with your fingers on the floor to take that right arm back to the starting position. So getting a little movement into the shoulders, middle back, neck. Continue for a few more rounds at your own pace. When you finish the second side, come back to center, stay there, and notice your breath, especially in the chest, in the rib cage area, and noticing the tension spots in the upper body and seeing if there has been a shift in the space. We're going to move from here into a supported supine twist. So supine meaning you're staying on your back, and I'm going to use basically all three of my blankets. So I'm going to twist over to the right side, and I'm going to support my lower legs with my two of my blankets, which I'm folding up into this shape. And the best, so the twist, it's your choice how you want to support your lower legs. Some of us might not need any support, they can just be on the floor. But for me, I find having my legs higher up is less of an intense twist on my low back, and it allows my back to relax better in a restorative pose. So the level of support on your legs is, again, variable and depends on what allows your back to feel easeful. And then the best part of this, what makes it truly restorative, is we want to bolster and support the spine. When we nuzzle or snuggle this along the spine, the back muscles can really relax and they don't have to hold us in place. So you want to roll your third blanket up into a long little bolster. And this is going to, so I'm actually going to go the other way so you can see the spinal roll, because that's kind of, the restorative aspect of this. So go the other way. So you're on your back. To come into the twist, you can draw your knees in and you can drop your legs over to your stack of blankets, pillows, whatever you got. And then I'm still on the camera. And then you pull your roll up, and it could be a pillow, whatever you have at home. You want to nuzzle it into your spine so that it keeps you in the rotation, but your back is not having to contract. It can just completely release into support. And then this arm, you want to be supported on the floor in any way that you can touch. It could be the whole arm, it could be with the back of the hand, it could be straight out, it could be at an angle. So you can find the level or position of this. Then as we stay, we're going to come to those two places of intelligence in the body again. So first place is feeling the gut center and feeling your breath inhabit the gut center from the front side as well as the back side. Uh, you can use sounding to allow the breath to open up. So the sighs through the mouth can be helpful, or like an ah sound, or an ooh sound that can help to resonate the breath lower down into the body. And then take your awareness next to the heart center, getting a sense of the rib basket here, the full circumference of your rib basket, sense of the sternum and the back of the ribs, and just sensing the way that your breath also moves into this space. And just resting your attention here, feeling the natural movement of your breath in this twisted shape. Take 3 more breaths here in this first side of your supine twist, feeling the whole body breathe. When you're ready to come out, slowly pull your spinal support out of the way and you can come back onto your back and listen to your body. Sometimes it feels good to just stay in center for a few breaths, maybe coming back to the knee to chest pose if that would help to relax your back muscles out of the twisted sensation. And then your pace, your timing, you can make your way onto your second side of this on your back twist. And you can elevate the legs for a little bit of an inversion effect. And the piece that helpful here for a deeper relaxation is to support along your spine so that your back muscles can fully rest into the support. Make any last minute adjustments. Make sure that that top arm is supported as well. So don't keep that arm up in the air because then the upper body can't relax. And once you're situated, completely turn back inwardly and sense first just the natural evolution or movement of your breath. And then see if you can direct more of the breath down into your belly and into low back. Also, noticing the relationship between your inhale and your exhale. Allow the exhale to become a little bit longer in order to cultivate your relaxation response. So you can slow down that exhale just very softly, very soft amount of effort. shifting your attention softly from the lower body into the rib basket, the heart area, landing into this place of intelligence. See what you can feel about the shape of your breath here. It's probably not going to move as freely as in other positions, but just noticing, you can sense that capacity of the breath expanding through the ribs. It's probably going to expand more through the longer side. Just allow the sense of the breath to nurture this space, sense of movement of the breath, softening, allowing the tissues here to yield, to become responsive, to soften. Stay for one more minute here on the second side of this twist. When you're ready to come out, you can slowly remove the spinal roll. You can allow your legs to come back to center. You can hug the knees back in and listen to your body. So, what compensation pose would feel best? Maybe it's hugging the knees in, doing circles, doing happy baby. Maybe your hips want to go in the other direction. Maybe you want to push your hips up and come into a bridge position. We'll come up to sitting so that we can set up for a pose called mountain brook pose. So we'll be using all three blankets or whatever you have for the supporting the neck, the middle back, and also the knees. So the first blanket is going to be in a roll again, but this time you only want the roll as big enough just to support your cervical spine, just the curve of your neck. So it doesn't need to be rolled up all of the way, and the rest of the blanket will support the back of your head. And so you want to set this up so my hair looks crazy. Um, Set it up to the size where you think it's going to support your cervical spine. And we're going to do a little tractioning move once we get there. So, first blanket. Second blanket is going to give us a heart opener, a little back bend in the upper back. And how you orient the blankets, how much you fold it is up to you. Usually, the way that people have this is you fold it up in half the long way. If you want a bigger stretch through your chest, you let it go across your mat. Yeah, so it would go the long way across. And you want to approximate it so that Your neck is here, your head is here, the top of your shoulders come down, your heart is here, and this stretches the upper back. Sometimes the back might not be happy with this much of a stretch, especially staying for a while. So you could turn it the long way. And when you turn it the long way, you still get this stretch through the chest, but your low back is going to be on it as well. And some of us, our low backs will be happier this way. Okay, another option is to open it up so that it's even more gentle of a heart opener. It's not quite as steep. So you find the height that works for your body. The knee support is the third blanket, and it can be with a roll as well, and you can just nuzzle this underneath your knees. If you want a higher level of support and you have blocks, you could stack the blocks underneath the blanket roll. And so the level of support underneath your knees can vary depending on what you have. You can even put your lower legs on an ottoman. Like that could be a really nice variation of this as well. So I'm going to set up. And it's easier to get the legs, low back set up first, and then you come down. I think this is closer. And then when you come down, you might have to adjust things to fit in all the right places. Once you have everything, so the shoulders, the top of the shoulders are down, make sure they're not up in the air because that makes it hard for your upper body to relax if the shoulders are ungrounded, unsupported. Once you have the neck roll in place and everything is supported in the right place, you can give yourself a little tractioning effect by pulling the blanket upward, and then this will lengthen the tissues of the neck out, and that can feel very nice for the tissues of the neck, which sometimes they get shortened because of how we carry them. Then you get to rest. So mountain brook pose. And both places of intelligence that we've been focusing on, the heart, the belly, are stretched here. As you settle into this position, notice your lower body first. Notice how your hips are touching the ground. Notice the solidity of your legs, feet, and all of the bones of the lower body. Sacrum to hip bones, the femur bones, the tibia, the heels, the bones of the rest of the feet, getting the sense of the strength and the solidity of the bones. Just feeling the weight of your legs, your hips on the earth. Imagine that your subtle breath moves all the way down and nourishes your root. And sensing how your breath is also inhabiting your abdominal center, your low back. Migrating your awareness up into the heart center, feeling how your breath is also here, how your breath expands sideways, front and back, in all directions to nourish the heart space. Notice what it feels like to be supported here, to feel that quality of the earth behind your back, especially in the middle back. And circulating the awareness between the two places. As you inhale, you can move your attention down the heart to the belly. As you exhale, you can move your attention up, allowing the shoulders, the jaw, face, and the eyes to be soft. Watch your body breathe, doing more rounds here. Introduce movement whenever you're ready to come out. And I suggest pulling the middle blanket out first so that when you rest onto the side, your middle back isn't being propped up anymore. You can let your spine move into more of a natural shape into the side. Just take a few breaths first on the side. We can meet up in a seated position. We'll do one more movement here, and this can help to turn off some of the tension in the upper body. So you can gently turn your head over to any side, to one side, and then just gently bite your tongue, but it doesn't have to be painful. Keep your eyes open and take 4 breaths. So as you do so, just consciously softening everything in the upper body. And after those 4 breaths, you can return your head back to center. And if it helps you to ground, you can place the hands back on the body and just sense yourself again in this new moment after your practice. Then we'll take the hands together at the heart. Take a full breath to heart center, bowing your head to your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. I'm going to unmute us. And if you want to check in,
That was wonderful. Thank you.
so that move with the head turn and the tongue biting, if you can just do it throughout the day, it really helps to release the tension in the upper body.
Good tip. Now, I did some tweaky move with Allison in a Zoom class, and we were doing, when you try grasp your hands behind,
Yeah.
but laying down and putting your body weight on it, and the shoulder has just not been happy with those moves. So
Yeah.
be gentle with it. Putting my CBD balm on it.
Yeah, CBD is good. Yeah. And just gentle movements to help soften it up, rather than, yeah.
I'm just like, can't do them right now. I can do them. I want to do them, but
So what have you been doing? I'd like to ask, so what's been grounding for you? Like what kind of,
um, I'm walking because the parks are closed here. So
wow.
Yeah.
It's that
So
strict.
go like into Peters Canyon and hike.
Yeah.
So I'm just walking, for an hour or something. Not every
Yeah.
day, only every other day or every couple days. And then I've been
Yeah.
doing classes at Be the Change,
Cool.
doing some yoga, doing your class on Sunday, puzzles, reading, doing a little work, volunteer stuff. So
Are you still working with the Congresswoman?
I'm volunteering for her now. So I'm, basically a staffer that's not being paid because
Yeah.
we don't really have a campaign staff. We're not staffed up yet. We don't even know what that's going to look like anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody knows.
We don't know.
Yeah, you have to set up the office so that everybody's at least 6 feet apart. So
Yeah.
Barbara, how are you?
Just walking and yoga and crafts here at home. Everything's pretty closed in Colorado, so.
Yeah. What kind of crafts are you doing?
Well, just we have 12 grandchildren, so it seems like it's always somebody's birthday. So, we made a birthday poster yesterday for the one who was 14 today, that kind of thing. And then
Oh, fun.
homemade Easter cards and things like that. So.
Oh, that's great. Those are all great things to do. I need to get back because my dog was quarantined. He got in trouble, and the laws here are very strict, and so he couldn't play with his dog friends and for 10 days. And so we walked him a lot during those 10 days. Like he got 3 walks a day, and that was really good for me. And now that we can just throw him out on the fence in the backyard now, like I haven't been walking as regularly, and so I'm like, I think I need to get back to really help.
It's just good to breathe some fresh air,
Yeah, yeah,
Get the cobwebs out of the mind.
Get out of
yeah,
there.
yeah. Nature.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Kay, are you here still?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Uh-huh. She's like,
Oh, okay.
she's
Yeah,
a
I was
black
having
box.
Yeah.
She has to
Yeah,
turn
no,
her
everything's
video
great.
on.
What have you
I'm-
been doing that's been grounding?
Well, I have my walking partner, and so we walk about 4 miles every morning along the Santiago Creek, the bike trail.
Yeah.
And the park is, but the trail out there is not.
Oh, that's
And
good.
I do some yoga, and I've been doing some Pilates because I did 5 years of Pilates. So there's
Yeah.
some Pilates on YouTube that I'm doing, and yard work. I've got there's always things to do in my yard,
Yeah.
so it's good. I'm outside a lot, and just this is a bigger thing than I ever could have imagined, and I think it's probably going to get bigger. With our economy, and it's
Yeah.
all cause for concerns. Yep.
Yeah. It's I think just reminding ourselves that we don't have to fix it all. Like I think there's a part of me that feels like
Oh,
and then it's like,
right.
okay, just like the universe is smart and bigger than all of us, and if we can just continually ground and actually look around us and see that nature is fine, and we're part of nature, and there's an intelligence to everything. So
Yeah.
People just need to not lose
Yeah.
their shit. People just have to hold it together. We can
yeah,
do
yeah, we can get through this, and if we continue to remind ourselves that yeah,
that, you know, we have to support each other as well, but it's like there is enough for all of us if we act out of fear, you know. So yeah. Well, it's lovely to have everybody together for practice this evening or afternoon.
And Anji, I talked to Tina Locklear today.
Oh yeah,
Tina?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And she apparently your emails have been